Hello. I did finally have my rescheduled meeting with the film producer. This is the second one for the brand that we're working with. So I said that I would give you the results of this. So I said, hey, why not record it? It's much easier as we have multiple people in the publishing house who are looking to actually do screenplays. And I have some notes. I want to give you the main bits that matter as far as what the screenplay meeting I had, the summation of that. So there's a couple moving pieces when it comes to screenplays. I say it's just like book publishing. There's an investment, and people make it seem simpler than it is. So that's why I said I wanted to work with the professionals for how that is best to be done. Want to give a couple disclaimers here, and probably maybe just only one main one. I always had an issue when there were certain publishers, or excuse me, certain authors that would come to me and where somebody is supposed to be a film producer, and they would go, oh, this person is doing the documentary on such and such and such. And they said they would record me for free, and they're looking at it like it's a great exposure opportunity and a way to really be able to grow their book and grow their platform, their author platform. And for me, alarm bells always went up with that, because if you know me now by being a client, I'm about contracts. Because the truth is, whatever level of film producer they are, there are a lot of people that are just trying to get into the game. Everybody wants to have a movie on Netflix. Everybody wants to have a movie that maybe Tyler Perry produces or whatever. And people are seeing that, there's these no-name people that are able to, get some of their friends together and record a few things and get a deal. And it's maybe not Netflix deal, but there's a lot of independent companies that's like, oh, hey, we were able to do this and get this much money, which seems like a big deal to them. And it's definitely a big deal when they're pitching you. But my problem always was, if someone's making a free offer to do a documentary and they want this person to sit here and, oh, it'd be great exposure, there's normally no agreement of how this is going to be distributed, who has rights to what, how profits are going to be shared, because the thing is, they don't know either most of the time. And so if I can get all these people and do this little documentary and, ship and sell these stories and maybe work a development deal, that's what they're looking at to make money. And it seemed appealing to you because it's free or whatever, and it's exposure. And I always tell, new business owners, new authors as well, make sure that a free exposure opportunity doesn't leave you exposed. I'm not going to keep going on and on about that, but I have that with everything from if you're going to be a contributing writer for free. I'm very cautious with my clients what they do for free, because a lot of people are out here doing things for free that they should be getting paid something for. Everyone has a budget for something, or you're doing things for free that are really not giving you the right exposure. Again, I know this about screenplays, but we got to do a little bit of disclaimer and background information. Part of my media training and industry is in magazines. And a lot of people want to be a free contributing writer. I'm not telling you not to. I've done that before. However, what I'm going to say, if that past a certain point, it's just too much. Because when people say it's an exposure opportunity, compared to what? And if you're not building your resume and you have a plan for this when it's free, you're wasting your time, because there are some things you could be pitching to and writing for that would give you money right now and put your name in bigger places to be seen than someone you're writing for free that really has little to no distribution. So I'm going to end that there. That'll give you a little bit of what I'm talking about when it comes to this screenplay thing, okay? Agreements are important. Going in, understanding what are you going to profit, even when you have to make the investment for the production you want and the screenplay you want, you've got to know what are the possibilities. How do I monetize this? In addition to how do I raise the money? It's always great if you can just cut a 5-figure check yourself, but the reality is a lot of people don't have that. So how do you raise money? Well, one of the first things from this meeting that was essential is getting the book actually written as a screenplay. So don't know how much research you've done beforehand, but yeah, there are people that just take a book and it seems like, they're an independent company, whatever, and they start a film production. But it made sense with the expert of why they don't do this. And it also affects your shopping power to actually get deals and make money off your screenplay. The reason why this company doesn't do that, and professionals really don't do that without transforming your book into a screenplay, because one scene can mean so much. Just reading a book, you read a book and you may like it, and you might be able to see it on film in your mind. But as far as actors, producers, um, camera people, venues, sponsors, as far as them being able to see the vision, they really can't do that from a book alone. For instance, think about a memory you have in your life, or since you're authors, think about a scene you wrote in your book. Now, you can take one scene and have that focus and those camera angles completely different. You can take that one scene as we read it in your book, and there could be, let's just say, 20 different ways that you can do that. If you focus more on the lead character, if you focus more on maybe the villain, there's different ways for you to take that same scene in a book and have focus and direction. It's not up to the film crew to figure that out. That's why you need a screenplay. Also, another thing that was shared in this meeting with the film producer is the fact that, once the screenplay is written, whether you go with their company or whoever company you're shopping this to, you have a tool to shop. Because, for instance, when you're explaining, we would like you to sponsor us to use this location. A lot of people don't understand that another part of screenplays are the locations where you're shooting. That's part of your budget as well. If you had a well-written screenplay, these are things that you would be able to shop to people like venues to say, this is what we're doing. This is how we would like your partnership. This is what we would need to shoot. This is why we're picking your location. Not only that, but one of the questions that was asked to me, have you ever seen a particular actor or actress and you're wondering, how in the world did they get them to be in that screenplay? Like, you may have a bunch of no-name people and just out of the blue, there's this type of caliber of celebrity. It's like, how in the world, is that a cousin or something? Well, one of the way you can often shop some of the celebrities, whatever level they're at, to actually be, or influencers or well-known people to be in your screenplay, it's your screenplay. So having it written as a screenplay allows different actors and actresses to look, see your scene, see your characters, and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see myself playing so-and-so. Or, you know what, they're asking me to play this role, but I sort of would really like to play this role over here. So it gives you greater leverage that a book won't. What were some of the other things? I think those are pretty much the main thing, because the screenplay, as she mentioned, will help you be able to shop to the different venues, some of the sponsors. So that's another way you can raise money with sponsors. When they're able to see the screenplay and you're shopping it, where it's going to be, and you get different parties that are willing to work with you. This affects your budget. Some of the sponsor would be like, oh, okay, when they read the screenplay, not the book. But if you can shop the screenplay and the dialogues and things like that, that can help you with some sponsors. And the thing is that once the screenplay is officially written, if you choose not to go with her company for the film production, you have something you can shop anywhere in any screenplays. And, she's given me some ideas for some places where she's like, listen, if they can't get, major distribution here, and there, they can definitely get it here. And she was always telling me some of the money and things involved. And it went back to what I said. Do you have the right company where you have contracts established? Because what has happened, some of these people have had friends and other people volunteer for free to do their little screenplay, and however they raised their money, they had the money to do it. And then they did it and had it, at a local movie theater, maybe made some money off of it, had some sponsors or whatever. And then had some of these companies she know that would take that screenplay and give you advance. One of them locally, she was saying they wanted to get them, I think it was $10,000, $20,000. And for someone that's a no name, you're like, oh my goodness, they'll distribute my film. And, that's one place you can say your film is, in addition to having your screenplay at some of these independent film festivals. You can definitely have a screenplay, be able to shop it there. and maybe get some awards. We've had one of the screenplay people affiliated with our brand actually do that. But here's the kicker. Unfortunately, the person that did their low budget film, and like she said, it was a real low budget film, you could tell. So the fact that somebody wanted to give them 10,000 was like, what? But here's the thing, they didn't have any agreement signed. So at a time where they could have got 10,000 for something that was really low budget, and it looked low budget, they didn't have the agreement signed. So all of that comes in professionally getting a screenplay written. Because if you're going to have actors and actresses, it's just like a book. When we have multiple people writing in the book, or, one of you that's viewing this, you have someone doing a music composition for your theme for your platform, we need agreements to be signed, because everything's cool when people are volunteering to do things for you. But the minute money is involved, now we have problems. That's why out the gate, you get certain agreements signed, certain legal things out of the way. So later on, when they're like, oh, wait a minute, how'd she get this deal? Sorry, you already signed off. That was part of it. Whether you thought it was a reality at the time or not, too bad, because you signed off this release. So that leaves you, the person that is your screenplay based off your book, with full rights and privileges. Those are things of why you work for the professionals, and working with the professional is going to cost you. So she let me know that on average, with her company, the screenplay person they have hired, they have on staff, on average, it's about $2,500 to turn a book into a screenplay. And then it's with about a 45 to 60-day turnaround. Right now, they will not be able to entertain any projects to start until mid-January. Of course, different seasonal things are coming up and things like that. So as of today, if you were to solicit to work with them and want to hire that screenplay writer to write your book into a screenplay, write a screenplay for it, then it would be until about mid-January before he could actually start that process for the $2,500. You also are free to shop for a person that can do the screenplay writing yourself. And then, come next year, if you're serious about, okay, I want to be a screenplay, I want to turn this into a screenplay, we have the screenplay here, now let's get into the actual production. Their company would be more than happy to look at the screenplay you have and then talk to you about working out a budget and your vision and where it's going to be shot, and shopping the sponsors, all those people I mentioned before, venues and all of those things like that. And working with you on that. So that's pretty much the options we have now. That's the meeting I had. Of course, this is much easier to do by video than emailing you all this information, but I want you to have the summation of that meeting and just reply back to me after you finish viewing this, your thoughts, what your plans are, since you said you were interested in a screenplay, and how you would like to proceed from there. And then make sure you check out, if it's not already live by the time you watch this, it will be soon. I'll be talking about, for authors, some of the supply chain issues, distribution issues going on now, and how it's affecting their platform, their author's platform, and its profits. So stay tuned for that, because, I always like to educate my clients. So we're making sure they're properly positioned for profitability and impact. That's part of the Fruition Publishing advantage. So until we talk again, bye-bye for now.